Welcome back, Open Window once again after many years of no Open Window, I suppose, and with Pan and Jazz as always.
Ah,
You know the deal by now, hopefully. And yeah, for anybody who has never watched an episode and has stumbled across this video somehow, yeah, we talk about anime and manga usually, but sometimes about, movies and shit if they somehow relate to anime and manga, I guess. And for this video, we, as the title and thumbnail already suggest, we want to talk about the not so much anymore, but kind of still hyped up new manga Kagurabachi. It dropped like a couple months ago. A couple is even pushing it. It dropped like last month or so, didn't it?
yeah,
Like it's still only on chapter 5.
fairly new.
Yeah, it's really new. One of the hottest new gens right now. Unironically, I say unironically, on Manga Plus, like the main website people read usually, like the new stuff that comes out, it got into the top 3 somehow. Like it really took over Chainsaw Man, it took over Boruto, over My Hero, Oshinoko, like anything. The only ones that are still above it are obviously One Piece and also for obvious reasons, JJK, with what's happening currently in the manga. No spoilers though. Kagurabachi hyped up to no end, even before chapter 1 dropped. And yeah, we just wanted to give our 2 cents, say what we think, what the story is about, and yeah, if we think that it is worth checking out.
A lot of y'all probably seen this because like the thing is like he said before the even first chapter came out, I think they released like a picture, like a panel, and it was like him like having a sword out and him like looking all intently at the screen. It's like that's all we had for a good little bit, and the people were just making like I don't know, people are so creative and annoying at the same time. They were making like they were making anime, they were making like little snippets of like him like fighting somehow off that damn picture. It made no goddamn sense.
Yeah,
they're making video game video what's it called, covers, I guess, and stuff like that. I don't know. People are just have way too much time on their hands. Of course, since we're 5 chapters in, there's really nothing to spoil, I guess, honestly. But just to give a kind of a short premise, we start off with Chihiro. Chihiro is the son of a very world-renowned swordsmith, or I guess blacksmith, or what you want to call it. And it kind of just opens up with that, him and his relationship with his dad. I mean, I guess that is a kind of a spoiler. I mean, it's not really a spoiler because it happens in literally every shonen of all time ever, right? His one family member, his dad, passes away at the hands of an evil organization. And of course, he wants to take revenge for his father, and that's literally where the story begins. There is one, at least currently, one main, I guess, like side character or like secondary character. His name is Shiba, and he's like an old friend of the dad's, and he's kind of like looking after and helping Chihiro in his search for the evil organization. And I'll just leave it at that. Honestly, I feel like there is some other things that happen, but again, just go ahead and read it. But we're only 5 chapters in, though. You can really binge it in like probably in 15 minutes, honestly, like 30 minutes, something like that, honestly. Yeah, but
and
pretty solid so far.
Yeah, and if you want to really get into it, read all the text very cautiously and shit. I mean, probably half an hour or so tops. Like it's just 5 chapters, right? Just rush through it. You get the gist of it. It has swords, it has sorcery, and it has swords mixed with sorcery, right? With what Chihiro is doing, and is set in I would say just modern world Japan, right? Is it? It's Japan, right? Like Tokyo or some shit.
For sure Tokyo. For sure Tokyo. Yeah. I guess modern day. Yeah.
I mean, more or less modern day mixed with. I mean, it's similar to JJK, right? You just have modern day Japan, and then mixed with some magic here and there and some sword fighting. Nothing too special, to be honest, there. Chihiro as an MC, I can't say a lot. What do you think about him so far?
He's cool. I thought he'd be a lot more like coming from the pictures and the way people were perceiving him. I thought he'd be a lot more like edgy, honestly. But
he's pretty chill. Yeah,
he's gonna. I didn't know he was chill like that. Honestly, he's kind of just like not like he's a lot more serious than a Yuji. He is very deadpan. Like there is a little bit of humor in it, and like I guess mainly from Shiba, if I'm being honest. But he does like deliver some lines pretty funny because his face is always just really dead set. I wonder if that's gonna change. Like the only time we ever really saw him show emotion so far was like when his father passed away.
Yeah.
And he was a kid. So, I guess you can say like he kind of stilled his emotions from that. So, which is why he's kind of very straight and narrow, trying to just get to this goal right now. I'm trying to find a character to kind of compare him to,
I
honestly.
just thought of Zoro off rip,
Okay.
especially Zoro after time. Like Zoro before the time skip is laughing. He's getting like angry against like, but past like post time skip Zoro is basically or usually emotionless, like very serious stoic, and I think that fits. That's I mean, people compare Chihiro to Zoro for the memes, right? Like
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, Zoro came to mind, especially with the sword fighting. I suppose, like the very obvious point. So for anyone who's wondering, yeah, it's kind of like I'ma just say it, low budget Zoro as an MC. So far, it's only 5 chapters, okay? He
Yeah,
might,
yeah, yeah.
have the biggest character development in chapter 6 and become a fucking Eren Yeager Thorfinn, right? Like
Not at all. Not at
it's
all. Not a fucking all.
no, bro, have some faith. But
No.
I mean, okay, first, okay, I just have to get it out the way, okay, because the one thing while reading that really stood out to me in a negative way was the art. I'm sorry, all right.
Really?
There are some moments that are really well drawn, right? Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sword
Yeah.
fighting, the monsters. Oh yeah, right. Monsters are also there. I forgot. Certain moments where Chihiro is alone during the night, like the night sky with him sitting there on some berserk guts type shit. But the art is so inconsistent at times. I feel like I've been reading it, and backgrounds are usually missing. So the author really doesn't feel like adding backgrounds to most panels. The faces become very simple. The detail is just lost. So you have, I don't know, you could argue it's for comedy purposes, but it's
That's what I thought it
everywhere.
was.
But it's everywhere. Even outside of comedy, I feel like it's still lacking sometimes. Like it's fluctuating for some reason. I don't know what the reason is, because chapter 1, I believe, I would say, is for the most part very well drawn. I mean, it has to be because it's chapter 1.
Yeah.
But then chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them have some moments that are nice. But then you have the just talking scenes where the author, it seems like to me, didn't give a fuck. Yeah, I just have to have this talking moment. I'm gonna just draw it real quick. And after that, like the action scene, that's where I'm gonna focus, all my time on. Maybe it's a time issue. I don't know how new this mangaka is. Maybe this is like his first manga ever, so he doesn't. So he's still training. I mean, similar things happened to AOT with the manga. At first, the art was very bad, and he got better over time. So I mean, if this manga doesn't get axed this year, hopefully not, and they give it a go, like to produce more and more chapters, we might see the art improve. And
Looking
the
at
consistency.
what he's made so far, he's made 2 things before this, but they're not really well known.
I mean, that's
like,
typical, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like I think definitely is a time factor, and I do want to just throw it out there. Like, I feel like a lot of any critiques can, like, going forward, has to be kind of put on this the internet, in the sense of like the way y'all overhyped it and way y'all making it seem like, oh, this is the best thing. Of course, I know a lot of it is jokes, obviously.
Yeah.
Probably all of it is jokes. But like, just even if it's a joke, like, y'all know corporations and like money hungry CEOs don't see it as that. So if anything, they're probably going to him and be like, okay, so we have the internet on our side right now. People are just they're just keep saying Kagurabachi, Kagurabachi. They're comparing the shit to One Piece, da 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 da. And at the end of the day, like, any press is good press, whether it's bad or good. If it's a joke, it doesn't matter. So they might be going to him and just being like, hey, go ahead and just start pumping out these chapters. Like, of course, keep the story solid, but you have to cut a few corners. We just want to release, we want this shit to release weekly. So the art has to drop here and there. It has to drop here and there, type of shit. That's how I kind of see it as. Especially since, like, I can already see, like, maybe, of course not this year, but even like going into next year, I can see this like somehow an anime being announced already. Especially if the end, like, even if the the story is not going super duper crazy, if it's good enough, they're probably just gonna just full send it. Because that's how they're kind of doing with Kaiju no 8. I know a lot of people, some people might have heard of Kaiju no 8, but that got an anime already, and I don't think it's even like I think it's below 50. I could be tripping, but I swear Kachino is like not even above 50 chapters. With the recent chapters as well, and for some of who have been keeping up with it, each chapter is like mad short, dog. It's like less than 10 panels and stuff like that.
Oh,
So to
really?
me, it kind of feels like they're kind of just like waiting a little bit. So like oh, we want the anime to come out to kind of like maybe push the sales or something like that. I'm just kind of talking on my ass right now, but this is how I kind of see it, where it's like we're gonna kind of halt a little bit on the manga so the anime can kind of like when it releases it can kind of catch up and like just make some money off of that. Even with Blue Lock, like people who've been reading Blue Lock recently, like I feel like each chapter is not too short, but it's like we've been stuck on the same thing for a while now.
Yeah.
And like of course, like it can be due to character progression and things like that. But I know that's a big critique for Blue Lock as well. It's like, bro, we've been sitting on the same match for the last like 30 chapters, and we're kind of just going around and around and around and around. So I mean, of course, we all know Blue Lock has an anime, already out, and it was very, very good, very, very solid. But even with that, like, so like I think it's like animes are being not thrown out, but like maybe they're just kind of happening too fast, especially for these newer manga.
Nah, they
Like
be
the
getting
manga
thrown
comes
out. You can say it.
This
Bro,
is
the
crazy to me.
vending machine anime, they're getting thrown out, right? They're
That's
just doing they're just doing them for shits and giggles. Because no way are the most random of light novels and mangas that nobody reads getting whole ass anime adaptations. Okay, sometimes you have like this shitty ass manga that gets greenlit for 3 seasons of rip, and nobody's watching even season 1. I don't even mean Shield Hero, right? I mean like I forgot what it's called, right? I'm gonna show you after the recording, because some shows are just nobody's watching but they get greenlit. So why not Kagurabachi, right? Or another manga that is currently ongoing, very fresh, very hyped up. It's Gachi Akuta, also very clean, also kind of a revenge story, but with better world building, I suppose. But we also have more chapters there. Like give it a year, and Kagurabachi should be a contender or a possibility, or have the possibility for an anime. Just have enough chapters for one season.
Absolutely.
Like a
For
clean
sure.
11 episodes or 12 episodes, and we'll be good to go. Give it a good studio, give it a good
You already know
good
Mappa is probably
animation
gonna take
team.
it.
Bro, nah, bro. Don't give it to Mappa. They already
The thing-
overworked.
They don't give a damn. They have everything under their damn
Give
book.
them A1 Pictures. I want it to flop.
Maybe
Flop badly.
Whoa. Isn't Mappa doing the solo leveling one? Who's doing solo leveling? I swear it's Mappa. They just do
They
everything.
might be
dog.
doing it. Bro, by the way, no, forget it. I'm gonna talk to you about this after, okay? Because about the solo leveling stuff, this is not the video for it. Nah, but as a whole, I believe we said everything we wanted to say. Like I don't know if I want to continue reading it weekly. I might for like the next few chapters, just see where the story leads to and goes. So far, I'm not like without the memes, without the overhyping, the shit going on.
Never. I would not even touched it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in the story so far. Like it didn't grab me instantly like something like My Hero did, because I can hate on My Hero all I want, but the first episode, the first chapter, it gets to you. Like you want to read more with Deku and saving Bakugo and all that stuff. Like that's all one chapter with All Might coming in, and or other manga, I suppose. Even on some Oshinoko, like a very recent example. That shit grabs you. Like you want to watch more, you want to read the manga. The manga, just because of a couple episodes, already got into like top 10 of the year. Like it is one of the most sold manga of the year somehow. We'll see where Gachi Akuta goes. I'm saying Gachi Akuta. We'll see where Kagurabachi goes. My bad. But since it's just 5 chapters so far, we can't really say a lot about the characters or the art even. We'll see how it develops. Maybe we'll make a follow-up video sometime next year when more chapters come out, and then it's like, were we right to give it a chance, or should we have dropped it today?
I mean, I'm probably like. I mean, I don't really read manga weekly, anyways. I kind of let it build up over time.
I barely
like,
read weekly.
With with One Punch Man and things like that.
I just read JJK and One Piece weekly. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and Chainsaw Man. Those 3. Yeah.
I see. So I'm probably just let it build up, anyways. Maybe when we get to because like if someone said like even if you go on my anime list, I think like one of the like not like I guess like the responses or like the comments was like what most of these shonen anime or like I guess manga is like you won't even know what like if it's really worth it or not until like 20 to like 40 chapters in for a lot of them.
Yeah.
So judging it off of five is is pretty not crazy, but it's like you really can't even gauge. 'Cause it might start off pretty strong and it might just really take a nosedive like 10 more
Yeah.
chapters in. So we really have to see. But to me, it's like if you like something like like a very simple story, at least off like as
For
of right
now, at
now,
least, yeah.
like a Demon Slayer or something like that. I feel like this would be right up your alley. But I still say don't even read it right now. If you kind of like to if you like to binge, if
Yeah.
you read weekly anyways, go ahead. But if you like to binge, I said just maybe like wait for 20 chapters in, binge it. But okay, I'm 20 chapters in. Am I messing with it? Do I like the characters?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it interesting enough? Is it even building up to anything that's even
Let it
worthwhile?
cook for a bit. As I said, hopefully it doesn't end too early, doesn't get axed, because when the hype is over, are there enough readers to warrant the place in Shonen Jump? Is it? I believe it's in Shonen Jump. Like if they're like the numbers are too low, and that shit happens way too often, then the manga is gone. I remember a couple years ago I was reading a fire ass manga called, I believe, Paradox Ghost Rider or some shit, and at some point suddenly no more chapters came out. I looked up why that is, and it said nope, they ended the manga indefinitely. Not enough readers in Japan. That sucks. So we'll see how Kagurabachi goes. If it's one of the big ones, or if it's gonna turn in one of the big ones, we will talk about next year. If not, then not. But yeah, generally everything was said what had to be said. Yeah, I'm gonna try to read a couple more chapters and see where it goes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, Pan and Jazz, as I said at the beginning. And yeah, see you on Open Window sometime in the next 10 years or so. I don't fucking know. Peace.
Sir.